What does this mean to the New York Rangers, if anything at all? The man's not very hot right now. We're going to talk about it today on In the Crease with Tommy C. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's In the Crease with Tommy C. What's happening? I'm going to be talking about Matt Zuccarello, the quick whistle that cost Ottawa Game 6 of the first round. Zach Parise's pair. What the hell is St. Louis going to do? Calling all that and more. But I'm going to tell you, considering the amount of broadcasting that we have been doing lately, I did like a 4-hour hangout. I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm pretty beat. I don't know if I look it or not, but I'm definitely out of my mind beat. Dave's on Cronin duty, so let's get into it right now. Let's talk some puck, and we'll see how that goes. And I also have a little message for you at the end and a reminder about the game. Matt Zuccarello, New York Rangers, not exactly been had the hottest hands in the series, but I think as most New York Ranger fans know, he's a bit of a spark plug for the team. When he does get goals, team tends to win. He's also an agitator to the opposite team. I saw that Pittsburgh boy says he can't stand him, but he does hope he gets better soon. It's quite nice. Good sport that Pittsburgh boy is. Here's the thing. I think this might be a bigger loss than maybe is being reported in the press and maybe would be considered, because I am not sold on analytics, and I think cheerleaders in the locker room and, guys that go out there and hustle every night whether they score or not, I think that's a big deal to the team. Now, of course, if somebody can step in a spot and, pop a pair, that'd be, against the Islanders or the Caps. I'm sure that'll change just about everything. But I'm a little old-fashioned in this territory. I like having an agitator. I think it adds diversity to the team. I'm also so old that I don't think an enforcer can hurt you. They don't necessarily help you in the playoffs, but phasing the enforcer out of the game is, I don't know. I wonder if one coach would make a gamble, pull some Philadelphia Flyers. You started winning games. Enforcers would be back in business in no time. That being said, Matt, big spark plug for the team. The Norwegian magician, I saw Puck Daddy call him. I've heard others call him Frodo, and all sorts of other happy stuff. I like the kid. If you really think about what it takes to be from Norway, not exactly a hotbed of hockey. It's in Northern Europe where it tends to be more popular, but it ain't Sweden. Let's put it that way. Zuccarello is beloved in Madison Square Garden, even getting his own chant. Zook. Again, annoying the other opposing fans and players, and I think that's what's important. I think you need a guy out there to throw guys off their game. And he's not a particularly dirty player, so he's not like a horrible human being. He's annoying. And I think you need guys like that. I think it's a healthy thing. And I wish Matt the best, not only because he's on my team, just because I think he's a grand old guy. And we will move on, of course. Although I don't know if it mattered all that much. And certainly Ottawa had their opportunities. It goes without saying that last night, the quick whistle, where Carey Price did not have control of the puck at any time. It's actually on the right side of his pad. Ref blew it dead, and the Habs got away with one. This stuff is not reviewable. You cannot review a referee's whistle blow. It's not a Toronto issue. And it was a screw-up. Ryan Lampert apparently has an article on how bad the referees have been this playoff. I don't know exactly how he's measuring that, but I haven't been terribly impressed. And anybody who listens to this program for a while, you know I'm not one of these guys that go, the refs suck, they gave it to him. How much they pay you? Hey, ref, what are you, pregnant? Because you missed 2 periods. It's my favorite. But no, I'm not really like that. But I'm terribly impressed. Watched a lot of games so far. I missed very few. Probably the most games I missed were towards the end of the Ottawa series, and I didn't watch really much of the Bolts in Detroit early on, but not much of the Bolts in Detroit. But no, I haven't been terribly impressed, even with the Rangers. Maybe they need Tim Peel. That really piss off Greg Wyshynski. But, breaks are a part of the game. Bad calls are a part of the game. Ottawa had their opportunities. It is a little unfortunate. Could have been a very different game. It might have been a different game. Might have went to OT. I thought that game smelled of OT from the time that I sat down in the first period to watch it. But nonetheless, that doesn't matter. Habs get through. And I think they're probably destined for great things this year. As much as I can't stomach saying it. Carey Price, he's amazing. And he deserves all the awards he's going to get. I don't like the slobbering that goes over him in the media. I mean, I can take it from Jermaine Dion and Frenchie Ben and Matt Gazar because they're Habs fans, but it's just you can't turn on Canadian television without the drooling. But, I mean, man's good. He's damn good. And he may be holding Lord Stanley's cup. Unless Matt Zuccarello and the Rangers have something to say about it. The Blues. Now, we saw Jeff the Huffman get blue. I was actually going to cut a video today, but when I got that other video with those fucking people telling me they would have helped me out, but I said a dirty word or I played a rap song. I decided to rage about that. And it was good fun. But that took my mind off making a goofy video of Jeff Huffman, who was hurt in our hangout, our Shot from the Point hangout. I'm actually going to make graphics for it. It'll be the same background, don't worry. But yeah, I think we're going to do something with it. Well, I think we're going to do something like that. I like it. But as much as I hate to agree with Greg Wyshynski, he has an article, Dump Greg Hitchcock or Gut the Core of the St. Louis Blues. I really hesitate to blame Hitchcock. The sheer amount of talent, Hitchcock's experience, his being very forward with the media about not being able to get through to the guys. Or maybe that's the problem. But yeah, I think something dramatic's got to happen. And yeah, it's one of the two. Get a guy to bring the breathe new life into this team. Or cut the coach, start over, get a new ID, get a new ideology. Really wonder what's going on in that Blues locker room. They're so talented. To go out the first round like this every single year is just a joke. No, I tell you something, 2 damn good teams are going to get eliminated tonight in Game 7. One of the 2. Both of them have a shot. Maybe I got to miss it because I got things to do, but I'm turning off Twitter, going to bed, and as soon as I get up in Europe here in the morning, you know what I'm going to be watching? I'm going to be watching Islanders Capitals. So don't spoil it for me, chat, in the morning. Don't spoil it for me. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. The NHL in Seattle apparently is gaining momentum. I don't know. Maybe the NHL would do well up there with all those dopey hipsters. I mean, they've really took to soccer. It's not baseball or football. We'll like it. With our plaid shirts and our beards and our know what's good for everyone way of looking at the world. Maybe it'll do well. I don't know. I think would be a lot like hipsters, and in 5 years we won't be talking about them anymore. They will be a fad. Gone away. Hopefully. But I'm all for. No, I'm not. I'd be lying. Look, any team, anywhere a team goes, as long as it's successful, as long as my team, Toronto, the Canadians, and Boston don't have to pick up the tab for everybody else all the time because the money's going to run out. I really don't care. I wouldn't mind bringing. I like Gary Bettman's idea, like the idea to bring hockey to new areas. I do. I like that. I appreciate it. But if it's not financially viable, it's not financially viable. I don't know why they have such a hard on to put. Now it's Las Vegas and Seattle. Untested markets, markets where sports teams have left, like NBA teams. Everybody remember the Supersonics? I don't. I just don't understand why they expand and they expand and they expand, and they go to the players and they say, you got to take less money because we can't feed all the franchises. And my thing is always, why are you making more franchises? Hey, there's been some successes. I don't know. The Sharks are a great success. But there's been more failures and more moves. Atlanta, there's been two expansion teams in Atlanta since I've been alive, and I haven't been alive 40 years yet. Almost. Really? I ain't the smartest fucking guy in the world, but I do know. I think they have this idea. See, there was an idea in the 90s, and I know you Canadians can't really understand this. There was an idea in the 90s that hockey should be more popular than it is, or even more popular than basketball, simply because it's just sort of this undiscovered, undercovered, fantastic game. And I bought into this ideology too. And then when the wall fell and all the European players started coming over in, late 80s, early 90s, there was this, we're going to get this influx of talent. And then it'll have, I got news for you. And I'm okay with this. Game's not that popular. But it's an international game. Yeah, it is. But it's not like soccer. You have no idea. People ask me, like, well, what are the most popular sports in Germany? Soccer, 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 and soccer. Whereas we have 4 sports in our country. And the 4th sport is kind of a distant fourth to the 3rd. It's not an insult. It is what it is. I don't even know that the game needs to grow that much. Another problem happened to the NHL is when, all these communist countries fell apart, they were basically, making professional players. They had ridiculous training schedules that no professional athlete would dare accept. Only a, horrible government could force you to play hockey like they did Russians and Czechs. And then, the money ran out after the wall fell, and, food took priority over hockey. And I got to be honest with you, hockey took priority over food under the people that ran that beforehand. It was more important to sell the Soviet lie than it was to make sure everybody was fed. That's why we got Igor Larionov and Sergei Fetisov and what have you. They were more important because it was more important to sell the lie of the Soviet Union. So, in the 90s, we didn't get as many good players. And then it started to turn around. And we started seeing the Pavel Datsyuks of the world. They started coming into play. And now, well, it's dipping again, but slightly more stable economy in Eastern Europe, certainly much better than under the Soviets. We've gotten more players from Eastern Europe, but it's just not enough to support it. I think it's always going to be a niche game in the States, and it's always going to be Canada's pride and joy. And maybe it's better if it's small. I don't really like the people I see coming in the game. They weren't attracted to it 20 years ago. I don't like these people. They're just not fun. Not funny. Not fun. That's the way I feel about that. Here's a bit of a surprise announcement, and you're going to be shocked by what I have to say about this. Let's see. Sidney Crosby has decided to play in the Worlds. And of course, the media is like, what's the downside of Crosby playing? I admire the fact that he is willing to risk his career to play for his country. And the reason I admire it is not for, I guess the most rational reason would be, look, you make a lot of money. You're coming the second half of your career. You got to protect it at all costs. He's only played in one of the Worlds. I think it was in 2006. That's because his team mostly makes the playoffs or survives the first round most of the time. But in an era of everything about self, we saw a little of that when Connor McDavid stuck up for himself or a teammate earlier in the season. It's, oh, he's so stupid. And now you're hearing this about Sid. You know, like, oh, he's so stupid. I look up to people that think about more than themselves. Because he's certainly not doing that for the money. And I say a lot of harsh stuff about Sid. The one thing I would never say is that he does work hard. And he wants to win. And he wants to be out there. And I don't know. I just don't like the way he carries himself. But certainly he's a special hockey player. And I think going to the World says a lot about him. I think going to the World says it's giving back. That's what it is. People talk about giving back when you're a big celebrity. My voice is going. That's why I don't have as much energy as I usually do. And I did a lot of broadcasting. And no, I look up to Sid for that. I do. Is it the wisest thing to do in the world? Well, it's strictly in a financial way. No, it's not. But is it a selfless thing to do? Yeah. I know a little bit about, like, doing things for stuff that's bigger than you. And it's a pretty good feeling. And, man, if I had to guess, that's why Sid's doing it. Jesus, what's wrong with me? I'm saying nice things in Sidney Crosby. For Christ's sakes. My God. I probably should have pre-recorded when I had energy in the morning. I had a rough class. Bit of a surprise. Good for Sid. All right. I want to talk about an incident that happened yesterday. And I want to clarify something. Things got a little out of hand with Black Mamba and my team member. Boy, I am tired. And my team member, my beloved team member, Matt Kazar. And I'm not going to go who said what. And if you're there, you're there. You weren't, you won't. But I am going to make a statement about it. And hopefully put the whole thing to rest. Matt, I just want to make it known, and Mom wants to make this known, that he was out of line for what he did. But he was not totally... there was some context. I think when me and Jay kind of lectured him, we didn't put the whole thing to context. Matt did say something to him. I'm not going to go into it. But to put Matt into context as well, this isn't the first time that he's been attacked. And I'm not going to say it's anybody's fault. I don't think it's Matt's fault. I don't think it's my fault. I really can't be passing judgment on you guys in the chat when I say some of the most outrageous stuff. And I actually say worse stuff on Cronin's show. And Brandon brought that up, and he didn't appreciate the lecture. And I'm not going to lecture you guys. You guys can say what you want. But I tell you what, man. I might be a hypocrite. But it doesn't make it right. When we joke around, use harsh language, unacceptable social warrior language. And I got no right lecturing everybody, whether it be Brandon or Matt. There was some context to it. He didn't just explode. And Matt had also every right to stick up for himself. But, if you guys are going to bust each other's balls, I'll say this. I'm a big hypocrite. I shouldn't be lecturing any of you. You're all grown-ups, as far as I know. But, if you're going to do that stuff, use equal force, you know what I mean? Like, if a guy pulls out a switchblade, don't hit him with a bazooka. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I admit it. I shouldn't be lecturing anybody. But you know what? It's not right to say hateful things either. I mean, really hateful things. and not for just comedy. I don't think that's funny. And I think, maybe I was jumping on Matt's support because I love Matt to death. And, we kind of walk up the line with Matt and goofing around his background and stuff. And we've also done the same thing to Mamba. We goof on him too, about his background, where he's from, and what have you. But I just think Brandon said it did go over the line a little bit. And I'm going to stick up for my guys. And there's no way, for as long big a fan as Mamba's been, and I've known him for over a year now. It's probably almost 2 since he's been with Cronin. He's like a super Cronin fan, and I would stick up for him with the same vigor that I stick up for everybody else. But I think I'm just gonna kind of duck out of the chat, and I would just hope you guys just use common sense. I can't control what you say, and I don't want to, but I think it's I think you guys know what I mean. I'll take the hit for this one. I'll take responsibility for it. But in the future, and so Mama, Matt's really a good guy, man. And you're a good guy too, but you like to start shit, and then when people fire back at you, they're gonna fire back at you. That's all. You can take it. You're a tough dude. But I love you both, and I'm very sensitive to that. I was always the idiot that got my ass kicked by the bully for sticking up for just picking on my fucking friend. And then the bully would kick the shit out of me, and the guy stuck up for it would dip out. That guy did a couple weeks ago for the Buffalo Sabres fan. It's happened to me a few times. I have that habit. But I'll take the hit on with this one. But, hey, you're responsible for what you say, and so am I. So I'm a hypocrite for criticizing anybody. But that's it. Corey Crawford, big surprise to start for the Chicago Blackhawks against Wild in Game 1, second round. A little bit of surprise. But I guess the coach saw something they didn't like. Maybe he's got booze under the desk, in his water bottle. Debbie was real mad because they were giving Scott's sister a hard time. It was kind of a mean thing to do, to go after. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. To just attack a sibling. Look, I'm all about ball busting, but yeah, she loves her brother, man. And Debbie was really upset by that, and rightfully so. But it's the price of being a public figure. People say rotten shit to me every single day. The only difference is I'm a sociopath and I like it. It's just weird that way. It's just breaking news now. That's amazing. Also like to make a sad announcement. 5-time Stanley Cup champion, Hockey Hall of Famer, Marcel Prono. He passed away at the age of 84. 4 cups with the Wings, 1 with the Leafs. I think he got the last one with the Leafs. Marcel was probably the earliest form of an offensive defenseman before Bobby Orr kind of perfected it. I think they called it in those days when he played in the 50s an aggressive defenseman. Could make the pass out of the zone, getting the puck in the places where offensive players could do that sort of thing. So he was really I would not be shocked if he was a direct influence on Bobby Orr. Apparently wasn't as athletically gifted as Bobby. But, Bobby Orr, more than likely took from guys like that, like Marcel Prono. On his great 10-year career. But that's sad. Oh, not only that, this guy was like a wicked hip checker too. Oh, hip check, I miss it so much. My favorite part of the game. Nothing. Even like when the Datsuki and stuff, which I really dig. Oh, good hip check. Pow. And they used to catch you, boy, in those days. They get a piece of you. Now you gotta throw it perfect. But I get a piece of you. But rest in peace, hockey brethren. Good Canadian boy, and I hope there's hockey where you're going. That's all I gotta say about that. Hope there's hockey where I'm going too. Shit. Hope there's YouTube too. Dallas Eakins has appeared on the radar for the Philadelphia Flyers. Aha! You know I'm laughing at Pat in South Jersey. I don't know. That guy looked like in over his head. I think it's the worst possible move. I did not get a good vibe from that coach. I am no expert to judge a coach. I can only judge on feeling and character and experiences with leadership, and I don't get that vibe from him. It's purely personal. I'm sure he knows more about the game than me. I would not want Dallas Eakins anywhere near my Philadelphia Flyer team. And I tell you who ought to be hot this summer. Hottest free agent, John Tortorella. Yes, me. Talked about Sidney Crosby going to the Worlds. I'll tell you a guy, two guys aren't going to the Worlds, the Sundins. And they go pretty often whenever they have the opportunity. Other guys that I kind of give a hard time to, but, country first people. Yeah. And they're not going to go to the Czech Republic and do the Worlds thing. But Twins are in their 30s now, and they got every right to rest them up for next season. Disappointing loss for the Vancouver Canucks. Not that I cared. They just, I think they ran into a future legendary team. I was talking about this with Dave yesterday. I don't think Johnny Gaudreau is going to be a good forward. I think he's going to be a great one. Somebody we're going to be talking about for years to come. Johnny Hockey from New Jersey. Years to come. I'll take one call. 718-395-7660. 718-395-7660. Or add us to contacts and call us a shot from the point. I'd love to hear from you. And Deb wants Oshie on the Hawks. That ain't going to happen. Deb wants a team of really cute guys. Oh, guess who's calling? It's Patrick Gwynn. Patrick Gwynn, are you there? Does your microphone work? Guess who's calling? It's Patrick Gwynn. Patrick Gwynn, are you there? I'm here. Yeah. My voice sounds great. What's up, Pat? What do you think of Dallas Eakins?
No. Dallas Eakins, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Stay away from my team.
He looked like a big boob, didn't he?
Yeah, he does look like a big boob.
Big boob, big booby. My logo's not in the right spot. Why is that? There we go.
Hey, next time you talk to Pittsburgh boy, tell him one word from me.
What?
Four.
Were you guys fighting in there?
No, I told you it'd be 5 games, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But you also told us Marc-Andre Fleury was going to suck. And he didn't.
Well, hey, I could be wrong.
Yeah, me too. I'm wrong a lot.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong.
I like how these jerk-offs, they'll remember what I said and they get really aggravated. And they'll go back to a video I made like 2 weeks ago. So you got that wrong. But whenever I get something right, nobody but Dave tells me.
That's true. You're absolutely right, Hal. Hockey is not that big of a sport here in the United States, and that's what makes it special.
Yes.
That's why I feel it's special to me, because not a lot of people like it, and it's one of the few joys besides, my 6-year-old son that I can pass my love to hockey on to.
It is. It's like I used to tell my ex-girlfriend, it's like an indie, I don't know how guys are into music, but you ever find like a band that like only you and your friends know about, and you go to all their shows and stuff?
Do. And Dave brought it about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Mine's Clutch, by the way. And it's like not a super big band. And it's just personal to you and your friends. That's the hockey is to me. And like, I don't know, like when I watch the other sports, there's just so much crap. Freaking preaching.
Don't get me wrong, I like other sports. I mean, I like football and I like baseball and I like basketball. And I also like auto racing, but hockey's my number one sport.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it's more politicized than the other sports. And I mean, look, I'm a political person too, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It seems like there's less of it in hockey. There's less bullshit, And I think the bigger it gets, the more bullshit it'll get, Just become too, like FIFA. It's too big. It sucks, That's the way I feel about it.
I don't think I think hockey's just going to stay in its nice little niche of, fan base, and I don't think it's going to grow to where the National Football League is growing.
I hope not. They all start killing.
That's what makes it special, and that's the one few sports where somebody will rip on my team, and I will actually fight back on.
All right, there, Patrick Wynn. I'm exhausted. I'm going to finish this up, but thank you for calling.
Oh man, you sound exhausted. Come on, cheer up, Tommy.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not going to blow you up. That was one of the great moments. Also, check out.
This is as long as I don't have Jake Wink's puppet.
Yeah, sad puppet. I'm not sad. I'm not. I'm just, I had enough.
Oh, you sound like you a lot of broadcasting and like your voice is shot.
I just got back from school too, so I actually, it's funny. When I was writing my notes before I went on, I started writing in like half in English and half in German, not thinking. It's really weird. I'm looking at like this gibberish in the screen.
Because Matthew Cruz says he's watching the show from class.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, Frenchie Ben asked him what course he was taking, and I forget what Matthew said. And Ben goes, "Hey, that's a good course." And I chimed in to Ben. I said, "Hey Ben, you know what also is a good course?" And he goes, "What?" I said, "The golf course, because that's where the pens are."
Poor Pittsburgh boy. He acted like such a gentleman during the series with me. I just
did.
have. Yeah, he did.
My hat's off to Pittsburgh boy.
Yeah.
Who do you got tonight, Caps or Isles?
Oh, maybe you can go watch Sid in the Worlds. Maybe Team Canada will do well. All right, buddy. I'm going to say goodbye, do the scores, and say goodnight. All right, brother?
All right, bye.
Take care. Yeah, that's it for me, folks. I've had it. I'm really, really tired. I'll be on live tomorrow, though, because I love you. I love you all. I do. Tonight in the National Hockey League, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Game 6. First round, Tampa Bay Lightning against Detroit. Detroit leads that series 3-2. I think I don't know what to say about this series. I really don't. And you know what? I can't believe that you got so many of you guys actually watched the hangout. It kind of blew my mind because I thought that was just like kind of a live fun thing. All right, I'll take Frenchie Ben. I gotta take Frenchie Ben. I love him too much. Make it quick, Frenchie. I'm dying.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What you got?
But I know that today, Joe Cronin is listening to the show while working.
Is he?
So I wanted to say to Joe Cronin, work or I'll someone drop you.
He predicted the Habs going the whole way, Frenchie Ben.
Yeah, but I thought it was in 7 games.
Was it? Well, he's got to win the cup. He's got to win the whole thing.
You think the Habs will win the cup?
Yes, he said it. I would say in September.
Cronin.
He said it in September.
I know. He's a realistic fan.
Yeah, he's a realistic fan, but he hates you guys.
Yeah, as I do, but I like his style.
Yeah, I do too. Funny how like all you French Canadians are down with Cronin, who's like the epitome of a Boston guy. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny to me as a Jersey guy.
That's the fun of it.
It is. That's what's makes it
Roy.
great. And Roy, yeah, Roy dipped out. We won't see him till next year. He told us. I do kind of miss him though. All right, Frenchie Ben, let me end this sucker, and I really gotta go to bed.
I know you're tired. Okay, bye.
I hope you guys had fun last night. I hope everybody had fun last night. I can't believe you watched all that
we
stuff.
have.
All right, take care, Frenchie Ben.
Okay,
Take care. All right, that's Frenchie Ben from Montreal. Actually, I don't think he lives in the city. All right. What is sure to be an epic game, tied at 3 apiece, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dead on Dave said this is the best series. He's absolutely right. The New York Islanders take on the Washington Capitals. The Capitals who are hitting and smashing and killing. And the Islanders who are decimated defensively but still have the leadership and great skill of Jonathan Tavares, Poso, all those guys. Islanders should be nothing but proud of themselves. It is a damn shame they got a team this good first round. Because I think both these teams are contenders. I do. I think both these teams are contenders. It's a shame that Ask yourself something. How much has the Eastern depth improved? And we were talking just this past summer that the East doesn't have the depth of the West. And I think you can make a pretty strong argument. I don't think you'd say that anymore. Especially if Stamkos starts scoring. You believe that man don't have a goal yet with all his gifts? He's moving into Rick Nash territory. Absolutely terrible. Guy comes up on the goalie, and he's like, goalie's like, "Get out of my crease!"